I love the garden because it's tucked away in the corners, quiet and magical, but once you go out there, that's where the fun starts happening.
Chip Gaines, the fun and strong one behind Fixer Upper, is now facing something he can't fix with tools or plans. After many years of building a happy life and big business with his wife, Joanna, everything has changed. Joanna's sad health news has shaken their whole world, and now Chip has made a big choice that fans didn't see coming. People are talking, and the couple hasn't said much. Is this the end of what they built together? Or is something new starting? Something no one saw coming? Join us in this video as we discuss the details. Chip Gaines says goodbye after Joanna's diagnosis. In the early part of the year 2025, while filming an episode of the show Mini Renee, Joanna Gaines suddenly collapsed. It happened while she was working on set, and she had been trying to keep up with everything as usual. Everything went fast after she fell. She was brought to the hospital in an hour or so. Medical team acted really fast. They had to find out what was wrong, because they knew it was wrong. They checked her and carried out some tests. After spending some time under close care, doctors came forward with a serious diagnosis. They told her and her family that she had a very difficult and long-term health condition. It was later believed by many to be something called systemic lupus erythematosus, or SLE. This is a kind of autoimmune illness that can cause many different symptoms in the body. It can make people feel very tired, give them pain in their joints, and also affect their organs. It is not an easy thing to live with. It needs strong treatment and a lot of time to rest. People who were working with Joanna had already noticed for some time that she had not been feeling well. By the end of 2024, those working behind the scenes said that Joanna was showing signs that something was not right. She always looked tired. She needed to take longer breaks. Her energy wasn't what it used to be. Some even said that she had lost some weight. Still, Joanna kept moving ahead. She didn't want to stop. She kept filming, kept designing, and kept smiling for the camera. But it was clear, at least to some, that things were becoming harder for her. Joanna fainted while filming a part of the show that involved a living room renovation. Her body simply gave out. Joanna stayed in the hospital for some time. More tests were done. Doctors looked at her blood, her organs, her body as a whole, before they gave a full diagnosis. It was confirmed by the medical experts that she was facing a very serious health condition. They started her on treatment. She was told she would need rest, medicine, and time away from work. Right after this, Joanna stepped back from everything. She stopped filming, stopped designing, and stopped being involved in her usual work. She was no longer seen in public. All of her regular tasks were handed off to other people. There's growing speculation that Chip Gaines might be saying goodbye for good. After Joanna's diagnosis, his sudden step back from the spotlight has many wondering if he's quietly retiring to focus on family. Some believe this could be his final farewell to public life. As the world watched Chip's silence grow louder, one question lingered. Was this the beginning of his final goodbye? Stay tuned for more. Stepping away and public silence. Soon after this happened, Chip Gaines, her husband and longtime business partner, also made a major decision. He decided to cancel everything that was planned. He removed himself from all public appearances. There was a major television contract that had been in the works. It was expected to be worth a lot of money. Some said it was in the millions, but Chip decided to cancel it. His focus had changed. He wanted to be there for Joanna. He wanted to be with his wife and his family. Money, cameras, and contracts no longer seemed important to him. By March of 2025, a lot of planned events were gone. There had been an appearance scheduled for the Today Show on NBC. That was taken off the schedule. Magnolia Network, the business Chip and Joanna built together, released a short message. They said Joanna would be focusing on her health and spending time with her family. They didn't say much more than that. Around this time, a few people shared photos and video clips from the Mini Renee set. One video, taken quietly by someone in the crew, showed Joanna looking very weak. In the short clip, she is seen being helped into a vehicle. She looked pale and tired. It was clear she wasn't well. Not long after, there was an internal premiere event for Magnolia Network. It was held in early April. Joanna was not there. People noticed. Then, on the first day of May in 2025, a short video was uploaded. It was shared on the Magnolia Network's YouTube channel. The video was only about 2 minutes long. In it, Joanna sat beside Chip and spoke softly to the camera. She didn't say much, but she did thank everyone for their support. She said she was getting treatment and taking things one day at a time. Chip also spoke. He said that he would be stepping away from many of his own duties so he could be home more. He wanted to support Joanna through this and be there for their kids too. After the video was posted, things went even quieter. Joanna stopped doing interviews. She wasn't part of any of the shows or business meetings anymore. Her name was quietly removed from credits in some of the shows she used to work on. Even her social media, where she had always been active, went silent. Nothing new was posted. No updates were given. Chip took over most of the daily work for Magnolia, but even he started to appear less and less in public. In March, he was seen at a few business meetings, but he didn't talk to the press. People close to him said he often left early so he could go home and be with the kids. Around this time, HGTV reached out. They offered him a big deal. The idea was to bring back Fixer Upper, their most famous show, in a brand new way. It was going to be global. The deal was worth a lot of money, more than $30 million according to insiders. But Chip said no. He turned it down. He said now was not the time. HGTV later confirmed the deal was off. They said the Gaines family had asked to pause any plans. By the middle of April 2025, Chip had canceled everything else that was still on the calendar. All projects, appearances, and business deals for the rest of the year were put on hold. No new updates about Joanna's condition were shared publicly. Friends and fans continued to send kind messages and prayers. The family remained quiet, focused only on healing, rest, and time together. What really happened behind the scenes that made Chip and Joanna walk away from Fixer Upper at its peak? Let's find out. Behind the shiplap, the real reason Chip and Joanna left Fixer Upper. Chip and Joanna Gaines, the famous couple from HGTV's Fixer Upper, surprised a lot of people when they said Season 5 would be the last. Many fans were confused because the show was still doing so well. But their reason for ending it was more personal than anyone knew. Everything looked good on the outside. Their family looked well, their business was growing, and their marriage looked strong. But Joanna was battling with a serious health issue inside. Their lives changed as a result of this struggle over time. In 2022, Joanna finally opened up about what had been going on. She posted emotional photos from a hospital bed and let people know she had been going through a rough time. This shocked fans who were used to seeing her active and full of life. Joanna shared that her health problems had started a long time ago, maybe even when she was a child, but all the stress from work had made things worse. She had to go through several tests, medical procedures, and a long recovery process, both in her body and in her heart. During this time, Chip stayed right by her side. He even decided to slow down his work so he could be there for her while she got better. They didn't tell the public exactly what her illness was, but Joanna said the whole experience made them stop and look at life differently. Joanna had a rare design style. She enjoyed using simple, warm materials like shiplap on the walls, wood, and old furniture. Her look became a huge trend across the country. As the show got more and more popular, Chip and Joanna started building a much bigger business. They opened Magnolia Market at the Silos in Waco, Texas. They launched their own magazine, Magnolia Journal. They teamed up with major brands like Target, and in 2022, they even started their own TV channel, Magnolia Network. But Joanna didn't start out in design or home building. She was born in 1978 in Kansas and has Korean, Lebanese, and German roots. Her family moved to Texas, and she later went to Baylor University, where she studied communications. At first, she thought she would become a TV news reporter, but everything changed when she met Chip. Chip saw Joanna in a commercial for her father's tire shop and said he felt something special. He knew he had to meet her. They started dating, fell in love, and got married in 2003. After they tied the knot, Joanna chose to give up her dreams of working in TV news so she could join Chip in flipping houses. She began posting pictures and stories online about their home projects, and that's what caught the attention of TV producers. That's how Fixer Upper got started, and how the Gaines family became TV stars. Their growing success also helped their hometown of Waco. Fans from all over the country traveled there to see Magnolia and maybe spot Chip and Joanna. Their influence was so big that home prices in the area went up. People wanted houses that looked like the ones on the show, and real estate agents noticed a big change. But for Chip and Joanna, it was never just about fame or money. They always talked about how important family was to them. They have 5 kids: Drake, Ella, Duke, Emmy, and Crew. And they often shared how much they wanted to protect family time. When Joanna's health took a turn for the worse, it made them stop and ask what really mattered most. The end of Fixer Upper wasn't about giving up. It was about taking a break from fame to take care of their children and themselves. They became more careful about what they agreed to do, but they didn't totally stop watching TV. Additionally, they prioritized their health, their faith, and peaceful time at home. The decision to discontinue the original show was made from a very personal and real place, even though they returned later with Fixer Upper, Welcome Home. It served as a reminder that despite their fame and success, they were still a family going through the same hardships as everyone else. On the surface, everything appeared to be ideal. But what was Joanna actually going through on the inside? Let's take a closer look. Joanna Gaines's battle with back pain behind the scenes. Joanna Gaines, who became well known for fixing up homes with her husband Chip on the show Fixer Upper, has quietly dealt with a long-time back problem. Many might think her pain started from lifting heavy things like wood or barn doors during home makeovers, but that's not how it began. Her back issues actually started when she was a cheerleader in high school and got hurt doing a risky stunt. The move that caused it was called a basket toss. In this cheerleading trick, a group of cheerleaders throws one person high into the air. Something went wrong when Joanna tried it, and she ended up with damaged discs in her back. That injury stayed with her for many years. Still, she managed to work hard, fix homes, and build a very successful career, even with the pain. She later shared more about this struggle. In 2022, she posted on Instagram that she had a second back surgery. The first one happened in 2001. It was called a microdiscectomy, a surgery where doctors take out part of a disc in the spine to help with nerve pain. The second surgery, which was also a microdiscectomy, was done many years later to fix the same problem. That first surgery happened just as Joanna and Chip were getting to know each other. In fact, she had to cancel their second date to have the operation. At the time, Joanna wasn't sure Chip was right for her anyway. She thought he talked too much on their first date. But even with her doubts and the delay from surgery, she gave him another chance. And the rest is history. Her second surgery came right before Christmas one year. She had to stop everything and rest. Joanna later said it felt like a gift to slow down and just enjoy the world around her. The year before that, in 2021, she had already started feeling worn out from everything she was doing, managing shows, running Magnolia, and keeping up with her many projects. She talked about this in an article for Magnolia Journal. Joanna said she had been giving so much of herself to work and others that she felt empty. She wrote, "I was learning that a well that's only ever needed can't outlast a drought," meaning she knew she had to take care of herself if she wanted to keep going. So she began to spend time doing things that made her feel better inside. She read books, worked in her garden, canned fruits and vegetables, cooked, and spent quiet time outside. These simple things helped her feel balanced again. She said that when she focused on herself, she had more to give to others too. Even now, Joanna says her body still lets her know when she's doing too much. Just when it seemed like everything was perfectly in place for the Gaines family, What unexpected challenge quietly crept in from behind the scenes? Let's take a closer look. A castle, a surprise, and a silent resolution. Unpaid taxes on one of their well-known remodeling projects, the Cottonland Castle, put Chip and Joanna Gaines in hot water. The Houston Chronicle reported that the couple was sued for not paying property taxes on this historic estate, which totaled tens of dollars. The lawsuit was filed by both the Waco Independent School District and the City of Waco, who sought to recover approximately $40,000 in back taxes for the property. More specifically, the City of Waco was owed $1,359.65, while Waco ISD claimed an unpaid amount of $2,258 for taxes related to the year 2023, as outlined in the legal documents referenced by the Houston Chronicle. The property in question, known as Cottonland Castle, had been tastefully restored by the Gaines couple as part of their 6-episode series, Fixer Upper, the Castle. After news of the lawsuit began to spread, the couple and their company, Magnolia, took swift action to resolve the tax issue. According to KWTX, Magnolia officials paid off the delinquent tax bill in full, including any service charges. Stephen Lewis, general counsel for Magnolia, confirmed that the organization only became aware of the tax delinquency through the KWTX news coverage. Once informed, a Magnolia representative acted promptly to pay the outstanding taxes, effectively closing the matter. The Cottonland Castle, located in Waco, Texas, is a property rich in local history. It spans more than 6,000 square feet and sits on less than an acre of land. When the Gaines family purchased the property in 2019 for around $400,000, it featured 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Before they started their extensive renovations, the castle had been neglected for almost 20 years. Construction on the castle originally started in 1890, but wasn't completed until the early 1900s. Chip and Joanna spent 3 years renovating the landmark, turning it into a contemporary house that respects its history. Their work was showcased throughout the Fixer Upper, the Castle series, which aired on their Magnolia network. Following the completion of the renovations, which reportedly cost the couple $2.9 million, the property was placed up for auction in 2023 instead of being retained by the family. In 2014, the castle was valued at $274,500 before the restoration. However, according to assessments cited by KWTX, the value skyrocketed to $1.7 million by 2023. The substantial increase in property value indicates that Chip and Joanna Gaines may still benefit financially, possibly making a sizable profit from the sale of the property after all costs were deducted. Even in light of the unpaid taxes and the resulting lawsuit, what happens when the attention turns to something a little less polished, different from all the picture-perfect renovations and meticulously chosen charm? Let's learn more. When charm turns to controversy, the missteps of Chip Gaines. Chip Gaines, known for his work on home makeovers, often surprises people in ways that don't always end well. He's not afraid to do things that could easily get him into trouble, sometimes with legal consequences. One of the things that stands out about Chip and Joanna's relationship is that it didn't begin in the way many would expect. In their book, The Magnolia Story, Joanna shares how Chip made her wait an hour and a half for their first date, without even apologizing. Joanna later told him that everyone thought it was rude that he didn't call after she couldn't make their second date due to a surgery. Chip's excuse was that he didn't even think about calling her, which made things even worse. After that, Chip didn't ask Joanna out for months. She later found out that he and a friend had bet each other on who could avoid calling their dates the longest. Chip admitted that the only reason he didn't call Joanna was that he wanted the $50 from his friend. Despite this, they eventually ended up together. and now they look back at that time with humor. However, Chip's lack of awareness didn't end there. He also gained attention for how he treated his pets. In the Magnolia story, Chip talks about how he and Joanna let their dogs roam free outside without any leashes or fences. One of their neighbors didn't like this and called animal control on them several times. Chip and Joanna ended up being fined each time, and even though Joanna wanted to pay the fines, Chip refused. He said he wouldn't pay because he felt it wasn't right. But when the fines added up to over $2,000, the authorities came looking for them. In the end, Joanna was almost arrested, but Chip took the ticket and ended up going to jail for it. Chip's behavior also caused trouble in his business life. Before becoming famous with HGTV, Chip had a company called Magnolia Real Estate. In 2017, they claimed Chip kept them in the dark about a deal he made with HGTV for a reality series that would boost their company's success. The lawsuit accused Chip of committing fraud for his personal gain. However, Chip won the lawsuit when it was dismissed in 2020, and the case was settled out of court in 2023. In 2016, Chip and Joanna's church, Antioch Community Church, came under scrutiny after BuzzFeed reported on the views of their pastor. The pastor preached that homosexuality could be changed and that same-sex couples shouldn't be allowed to marry. Chip later deleted a blog post from the Magnolia website where he had written that their family wanted to fight for a world that knows how to lovingly disagree. While this comment wasn't as controversial, it did cause some people to question the Gaines family's stance on important social issues. A few years later, in 2024, Chip made another mistake when he commented on Twitter about Baylor University basketball coach Scott Drew possibly moving to a new school. In response to someone suggesting Drew would move for a bigger salary, Chip said, "Money is boring. Everybody's got money. We've got God on our side." This comment angered many people, especially given Chip's status as a multi-millionaire. He tried to fix the situation by offering to donate money to those who criticized him. What early experiences shaped Joanna Gaines into the creative force and household name she is today? Keep watching for more. Joanna Gaines, from humble beginnings to home design icon. One of the most popular names in American home design and lifestyle branding is Joanna Gaines. However, her story started out calmly and simple before all the fame. Cultural challenges, abilities she learnt on her own, and a strong interest to create something of her own all caused it. Joanna was always teased or ignored as a child in Texas due to her looks and her family's background. Still, she stayed strong and grounded, leaning on her family and her Christian faith to get through it. One early moment that would matter later came when she was just 12 years old. She was in a local TV ad for her dad's tire shop. It seemed like no big deal back then. But years later, that little ad is how her future husband, Chip Gaines, first remembered her. She later went to Baylor University in Waco, Texas, where she studied communications. Even though she didn't go to school for interior design, she always had a good eye for style and home decor. Right after college, she worked as a buyer at a small boutique. There, she learned how to spot trends and handle the business side of things. That job helped her shape the kind of style she would later be known for: simple, warm, and full of charm. Chip was skilled at building and repairing houses. Joanna had a knack for design, and they made the ideal team. In Waco, they opened a modest retail store called Magnolia Market, where they offered home goods for sale. Joanna made the decision to launch a blog as she continued to develop her own design aesthetic. She posted home projects, family tales, updates, and ideas on the blog. People were able to relate to her writing because it was honest and personal. It depicted her actual life and wasn't just about design. The blog grew fast and helped spread the word about her work far beyond Texas. Joanna and Chip decided to stop their show in 2018. Their reason was personal. They had a growing family and a lot going on with their business, Magnolia. They felt it was time to take a step back and focus on what really mattered, raising their kids and growing their company in new ways. After the show ended, they poured their energy into projects like the Magnolia Silos, a lifestyle magazine called Magnolia Journal, and their own real estate work. Joanna's work changed the way people think about home design. She helped make the idea of buying an old, worn-out house and fixing it up into something beautiful seem not just possible, but exciting. She encouraged people to look past flaws and see the potential in every space. Her love of farmhouse style, old wood, cozy touches, and calm colors started a huge trend all over the country. But her impact wasn't just about looks. Joanna showed what's possible when someone follows their heart, works hard, and stays true to who they are. She became one of the most inspiring businesswomen in America, without ever having formal training in design. She also helped change the city of Waco. What used to be a small college town is now a place where millions of people visit every year. Many come just to see Magnolia Market at the Silos and experience what Joanna and Chip have built. Their brand has grown to include books, furniture, TV shows, and even their own TV network called Magnolia Network, created with Discovery. Today, Joanna Gaines is much more than a TV host or designer. She's become a role model. What happens when the lines between business and personal life start to blur? To learn more, keep watching. Building more than just homes. Chip and Joanna Gaines recently appeared on The Kelly Clarkson Show, where they talked about family, work, and how they make things work as a couple. The crowd cheered as they walked in, and Kelly said she had been a fan for years. She shared how watching their show Fixer Upper always gave her home ideas. They all laughed and smiled as they talked about being from Texas and going to Baylor University. When asked about their 5 kids, Chip and Joanna said it can be hard to manage everything, so their children often travel with them. Chip joked about how expensive babysitters would be and called Joanna a cyborg because of how much she gets done. He said she's great at everything while he tends to forget things. Kelly laughed and said she was the same way. They also talked about school days. Chip asked if Kelly had been a bad student, and she said no, her mom was a teacher, but she wasn't top of the class. Chip said he was also an average student. The crowd laughed at how real and honest they were. Kelly congratulated them on 21 years of marriage. Joanna said working together from the start helped keep their bond strong. Even while dating, they were already flipping houses. They also shared a sweet story about their oldest son, Drake, who just finished his first year of college. Joanna said she cried a lot after he left but tried to hide it. Now that he's back for summer, she's trying to act cool. She also shared how much she loves cooking for the kids and how their youngest son always compliments her meals. A funny moment came when a clip showed their youngest saying they cook for a living. Joanna laughed, saying he still doesn't know they're famous. Kelly joked that she can't cook well and would probably just eat string cheese if left alone. The two laughed, saying they wouldn't survive as roommates. They talked about their new show, Fixer Upper, the lake house, and how they enjoyed fixing up a unique old house. They even remembered finding old bones and a letter in past homes. What do you think about the legacy Chips and Joanna Gaines have built? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.